Am I on? Greetings, Earthlings. This is Jacques Duché, and today is Monday, September 8th, 2014. September 8th. Is that a meaningful date to any of you people? Well, it should be. 48 years ago today, the television series Star Trek premiered on NBC television. It was 1966, and from this day on, America and eventually the whole planet would be influenced, pardon me, by Gene Roddenberry's creation. Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, Scotty, and, well, you know them all, don't you? That's because Star Trek became a phenom. The original series, occasionally referred to as TOS, ran for 3 seasons, and it immediately became a success, up until when people stopped watching it and NBC canceled it a mere 3 years later. Pardon me. Then, after it was canceled, an uproar occurred, and people complained because it wasn't on anymore. So the powers that be said to all these complainers, if you liked it that much, why didn't you watch it? We need ratings. To which everyone responded with nothing, because they didn't have an answer. This was possibly the first time in recorded history that people could not explain their absolute rabid love for something that they paid no attention to. It's a little like that Willie Nelson song, I think it was Willie Nelson, who sang You Are Always on My Mind, which I will review forthwith. Basically, Willie is saying, maybe I was a scumbag, maybe I never bought you a present, didn't remember our anniversary, never took you out, didn't know your birthday, maybe I treated you like dirt, never called, didn't even know your last name. But you were always on my mind. I was always thinking about you. I sure as heck did a lot of thinking about you. Now, one must ask, and I am one, so I will ask, what woman, listening to Willie, what woman in her right or left mind would ever have any other reaction than, you're right, you were a scumbag. It's a stupidly ridiculous song. I was an idiot. I never did anything, but I thought about you a lot. It's the thought that counts. Not unless it's backed up by some action. So it has been suggested that this song, You Were Always on My Mind, was inspired by the underwhelming fan response to Star Trek, the original series, before it was canceled. Said NBC execs, who, in this case, are a metaphor for the dissed woman in Willie's song, why? If Star Trek was really on your fracking mind, then why the Hades did not you watch it? Now you want us to put it back on the air? Go have a convention. And so the Trekkies did. And this is where it fascinatingly starts to parallel our U.S. form of government. Bear with me here, okay? This other screen is supposed to be showing something, not the Boeing 747, although I really love me a 747. Let me tell ya. This one will have to do. We're gonna switch screens on the airplane here because technically it's not supposed to be that. Much better. Anyway, this is where the whole Trek thing starts to parallel our U.S. form of government. The Trekkies had engaged in a letter writing and protest kind of form of communication, beseeching NBC to put Trek back on the tube, much like when we write letters or emails or make calls to our congressmen. And when they don't listen, we have the option of holding a constitutional convention and take back our government. Check out your U.S. history and social studies. It's in there. We can have a constitutional convention. Do you know what the last time when we had one is? I don't know either, but maybe I'll remember to put it right there because I'll have to Google it. It's been a while. That's probably what the Trekkies were thinking when they had their conventions. We're going to have a constitutional convention. We're going to rewrite history. We're going to make Obama require that NBC put Star Trek back on. However, guess what? Obama wasn't even born yet, or he was little. He was probably born, but real little, like me. I was little. We didn't have a whole lot of, what's the word? Citizenry, governmental awareness, that kind of stuff. We didn't. And I'm sure Obama, he was still in Kenya. All right. Anyway, there were Trekkie conventions in virtually every major convention center on the Terran home world. Now, mind you, I've never gone to one. Although, it's crossed my mind, but I would actually be afraid to go to one. Not afraid of other people there, no. I would be afraid that my personality isn't strong enough to not get sucked in. Consumed, if you will, by that lifestyle. If I went to a Trek convention, I fully believe that I would come home as Lieutenant Uhura. Wait, what? Yes, Uhura. Not only would it not be pretty, it would most likely be irreversible. Or can you pray the Trek away? That said, I have purchased Trek clothing and did dress up as a captain for Pips, like Picard. On Halloween with my two sons. Yeah, with my sons. I was that much of an adult at the time. Then when they grew up, one of my sons made all his groomsmen and father wear Star Trek socks for his wedding. To employ an aphorism, as Lieutenant Commander Data once used that line, the apple don't fall far from the tree. So where was I? Oh yes, the TV series review. It was pretty good. Live long and prosper. This is Jacques Murray reporting to you live on recording. Thanks for joining us.
This is TPRQ.